Previously on Breaking Point 2.
I'm feeling it, Cass. The pressure, paddock gossip these last couple of months.
Oh, come on. You're Devon Butler. You are the paddock gossip.
You've heard what they're saying, right? You've seen what they're writing. Driving on Daddy's money. It's making me second-guess myself.
Okay. In the meantime, I'd like you to see someone from the medical team. Just to be sure. I've booked you in for this afternoon.
Devon, do you copy? Devon Butler now. Oh, that's not good! Oh no! Devon Butler spins! He's out!
I'm done, Casper. I'm done.
It was his hearing. He'd been keeping it from us. I think maybe he'd been trying to keep it from himself.
5 years in F1. Can't argue with that. I mean, most people never even get the chance, so. And I was still one of the best while I was out there. You ask anyone.
What an absolute bombshell to leave the last part off with. And now we're here at Chapter 10, the Butler estate in the UK several weeks later. With Devon's sudden retirement, the team at Connosport are forced to scramble in an attempt to find a driver who can replace his performance on track.
But if we are going to hit our targets, we need another driver. A permanent one. And fast.
But we are mid-season. It's impossible.
Given the circumstances, do you think you can grant us a bit of leeway on the contract?
I have the projections. If Connosport doesn't reach 5th place in the Constructors this season, the returns simply aren't worth my time. That was always the deal. And it still is.
But with a little extra time, perhaps we...
Stop! The deal stands. And without Devon driving, there's now little of interest for me beyond the contract. It's just business.
There must be something we can do.
So, legacy is obviously important to you, Davidov. As a father, I totally get that. So if Devon, your son, can't drive, how about your daughter? Why don't we give the seat to Callie?
No. California will not be signed to Connosport.
Why not? Just think of the commercial opportunities for the team that signs her, Forget legacy. Oh, you'd be making history.
And you'll be giving a phenomenal talent her first break into F1. It's the right thing to do. Come on, you know she deserves it.
The daughter, who took her mother's name to spite me. She'll never say yes.
Why don't you leave that to me?
The contract still stands, Ackerman. 5th place, or I'm out next season.
One problem at a time, eh?
I knew Casper was absolutely going to play it that way. I just knew it. And that's how Callie may be involved in this team. We're going to have to find out. The Spanish Grand Prix several weeks later. The F1 calendar waits for no one. While Casper and Andrea work to secure a permanent replacement for Devon, the team must turn its attention to the Spanish Grand Prix.
Andrea?
Have you spoken to her yet?
Yes, we've spoken.
And what did you say?
She'll be around this weekend. She agreed to come and see me.
You mean you haven't asked her yet?
Of course not. It's a delicate situation. I'm sure she has an idea, but... look, it's not just something you casually ask over the phone, is it?
Why not?
Come on. This is potentially life-changing for her. And the whole family situation needs to be handled with a little, care and respect.
Well, you're the one that knows her. Just make sure she says yes and fast. I'm finding it difficult to keep fielding questions about the future of Conesport.
Yeah, I read part of that interview. Could almost feel you squirm.
That bad, huh?
Worse. Look, I'll call you as soon as I know.
So Andreo's been very, very pushy there. Of course, he would probably be more worried as the team owner about there, being just one actual driver and then the reserve driver alongside Aiden Jackson for too long. But Casper, I think, understands the intricacies of this situation. Callie and Davidoff's relationship is clearly not a good one, and, some negative family politics have to be addressed in a gentle manner, as Casper alluded to. So for now, and Conesport aren't saying quite what's happened to Devon Butler, letting him maybe come to terms with it and say on his own accord. So right now, just through social media, it seems like in this world, it's just cases of hope he gets better soon, but no real idea that he's actually at this point just fully retired from the sport, basically. He's not been publicly announced yet. And then we've got emails from Callie herself, talking to Cass. Already here, landed in Spain last night, arrived at the track, just a few bits to finish up, then I'll head over. Looking forward to seeing and catching up, although intrigued what you want to talk about, because you couldn't say earlier, you better not be up to something. Oh, he's up to something. He's up to something big time. And Casper's wife getting involved as well, saying Callie called her. So yes, she does suspect you're going to offer her the seat. Of course she does. I said I possibly couldn't comment, which I guess is a good thing, as good as confirming it. She's going to find out after the race anyway, right? It's wonderful you're offering her the seat. It'd be so good for the sport. So good. We're getting absolutely ribbed by our wife, Casper's wife there, at the fact that we are not hiding this well. But we move our attention to the next race without Devon Butler, as we are at the Spanish Grand Prix, racing with the team's reserve driver. Conesport look to Aiden Jackson to help keep them afloat in the standings, whilst a more permanent replacement for Devon is arranged.
So many eventful races here in Barcelona over the years. Do you remember Max Verstappen's first win on debut for Red Bull here in 2016? 2 years before, we had the dramatic coming together of Hamilton and Rosberg going towards turn 4. There's always a treat in store as we head back to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Gasly, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Joe, Sargent, Bottas, Magnussen, Ocon, Hulkenberg, De Vries, Jackson, Stroll, Albon, Stroll. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Welcome to the wonderful Catalunya. It's time for the Spanish Grand Prix this weekend, and whilst the season is just a few races old, it's already been one full of drama. So, Natalie Pinkham, who have you got your eye on this weekend?
Well, in Formula One, naturally, the conversation is drawn towards those at the top of the standings, both drivers and teams. But I'm really intrigued by the midfield team of Conesport. Devon Butler's absence will definitely be felt. There's no doubt about that, both on and off the track. For me, the interesting thing will be how they move forward without him.
Indeed, almost as many battles off the track as there are on it for Conesport at the moment. And Casper Ackermann and his team certainly have their work cut out for them this weekend.
I know it's been a mad few weeks, mate, but you've always gone well here, so let's get your head down and see what we can do. Come on.
Right, it's time to step up then as Aiden Jackson for this Spanish Grand Prix with a reserve driver alongside us, and obviously being a reserve driver had a horrendous qualifying, so it really is just down to us. This is a single-man operation, and we need to go out there and do a good job for Conesport, for, dare I say it, Devon Butler. As much as that annoys me to say, we've got to do it for him. You know, he's going to be watching from the sidelines, from home, with that hearing issue. Let's go out there, do them proud, and try and secure as many points as possible, apparently, in this race. That is the main objective. The bonus is to finish ahead of Sainz and Alonso, which is very specific for two drivers, but there you go, as we go to 5 red lights for this Spanish Grand Prix from P19 on the grid, and we've opted to start for this soft compound tyre and be as aggressive as possible as we get half on the grass as we're squeezed out by the Haas and the Alfa Romeo. Dive down the inside of Alonso and the Williams of Albon and get up into P12. That was aggressive as ever, but that was the game plan. Just go full guns blazing, because I feel like Aiden will be driving his absolute socks off at this moment in time, knowing that the team is in crisis. They've only got him to rely on, so let's go out there and do an absolute number on this race. 17 laps to try and get as high as we can. Forget about Sainz and Alonso. We've already got Alonso. We're going to get Tsunoda here. We might get Sainz pretty damn soon. Let's aim for the big one. We've already won a race this season in 2023 with Connor Sport and Devon Butler. Let's go out and win another one with Aiden Jackson this time. It's 3 wide with the McLaren and the Ferrari as we go through for the double overtake. And I'm going to try and dive down the inside of Gasly. Big lunge and taking absolutely no prisoners. I was driving like an absolute madman on these soft tyres compared to everyone else. We're now in a train tail ended by Lando Norris. Hamilton up next. We'll get the McLaren. Easy does it on the left-hand side and then look to wind up the pass on Hamilton as we run down this little back straight towards that very new Sector 3 at Spain, of course, with the new final corner. Haven't even got to the Spanish Grand Prix yet in my team career mode, so this is the first time you're seeing me play the new Spanish GP layout, and the final corner, I must say, very, very nice. I feel like it's just better, this old new layout of Spain, obviously, that they used to have many years ago. It's just better. You get a better run into turn 1. There's a bit more overtaking, it would seem, for sure, as Leclerc and Verstappen side by side. We're going to get Leclerc now on the inside for this left-hander, and then we're literally there. The podium is there for the taking, and we're only on lap 3, I want to add. That's how mad and quick I drove through this traffic. We're up to nearly P3 by the end of lap 3. Absolutely on it. Wasn't kidding about in terms of not messing about. And I want to point out, again, this is on the hardest difficulty available in Breaking Point 2. I do feel like this race maybe showed the most out of all the races we've done so far, but there maybe needs to be a bit of balancing and tweaking to the difficulty, because this is quite a stonking effort we're doing right now to be in P3 on lap 4 and now looking to get Verstappen and Russell. I mean, I'm going to let Verstappen actually overtake Russell first and then get the double toe, get the Mercedes, and now having a go at Max Verstappen. He goes defensive to the inside. We go the long way round and we're going to get so close to his left-hand side, but we're not blinking at all, and it's full steam ahead. And from lap 5 all the way to the last lap of the Grand Prix, we never looked back. Absolutely nothing to report in the rest of the race. We trounced the field 5.3 seconds ahead of Verstappen, and we win the Spanish Grand Prix.
Yes! Woo! Yes!
So it's Aiden Jackson propping up Connor Sport here today, but the big news off the track is the speculation about this team and whether or not they'll see out the season with their current lineup.
Well, I think they'll have to sign a new driver, Crofty. It's a gamble worth taking.
Well, a mid-season signing will get us all talking, I'm sure, but time will tell. Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
I kind of feel bad for our reserve driver. He stepped in and his new teammate has just won the race. Noah Bell, who absolutely did nothing in that race, but you've got to feel for him. But we've won the race with Aiden Jackson, and we've done that team proud, and now we've got an interview with Pinkham after that win.
Well, Connor Sport are in a bit of an odd situation right now, so just tell me, what is it like for you today?
Well, it's a strange one, so I'm going to go with it's pretty strange. This is probably one of the strangest things F1 has seen in terms of a mid-driver swap due to something like that.
Yeah, not so long ago my teammate was Devon, and we had a plan sorted out for the rest of the season. Now it's Noah, and for the last couple of races, suddenly nobody's quite sure what the situation is. I've never had to drive in this situation before, so it's all pretty strange, but you do what you can.
Most importantly, how is Devon? And how are you finding it without your teammate?
I think here, I was tempted with the bottom answer, like, you know, Devon will be back just to annoy me as a little tongue-in-cheek sort of thing, but I think the PR answer would just be, we're all concerned about him. Don't really give any details away like the team want us to. You know, just keep the party line that something's happened, he's not here, we're concerned, but we're not saying anything definitively.
Yeah, I know as much as everybody else, so, you know, I saw what happened. Obviously very worried for him, and as is everybody else, and, you know, I know he's not fit to drive for us right now. As far as I know, he's working super hard to return to the sport, and, yeah, I wish him well.
Well, there's a lot of talk about what happens if Devon doesn't return. Would Connor Sport be looking for a new driver, do you think?
Again, we don't want to say anything out of line. You know, it's not for us to say. You know, we could go with the unlocked answers, lots of young talent, etc. But I think it's better just to go with that's a question for Ackerman.
That sounds like a question for Casper. I know they need to plan for every situation. That's just the nature of the sport. But you know, if those discussions are happening, I'm definitely not involved with that.
Well, thank you for chatting with us. Great to have your time.
And I suppose Connor Sport are going to have to really solve that issue ASAP, really, because there's only so much you can field of these sort of questions and answers as we now go to post-race at the Spanish Grand Prix. With the Spanish Grand Prix in the books, Connor Sport set their sights on securing their driver lineup for the remainder of the 2023 season. So we are actually going to book in and look to have this chat with Callie Mayer with Casper Ackerman.
Hey, Casper, you wanted to speak to me?
Yes, I did.
Shoot.
Nothing major, really. To be honest, I just wanted to thank you.
Oh. What for? I'm, you know, just doing my job.
No, it's more than that. Well, I know why you stayed on the team. And, well, I won't lie to you, it's not been easy.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah, but you really stepped up. It's good for me to know that I've got someone like you to rely on.
Always.
Yeah. Look, Aiden, I'll warn you, things may not get any easier, at least not for a while, but, well, we've got something in the pipeline, a potential new driver, and a damn good one.
Who is it?
I can't say, not yet. It's a bit of a gamble, but if they agree, we could have something special.
Nice. And, how is Devon?
Fine. I think... I'm not sure. I mean, Davidoff has closed the door on that one, but... Yeah, he tells me Devon is in a good place, though.
Oh, that's good, that's good.
Just keep doing what you're doing, okay? And now, just get out of here.
Of course. I'll catch you later, Casper.
Oh, it's kind of nice to see Aiden and Casper chatting again over the phone there, and clearly, you know, Casper is very well aware of why he stayed on, and, you know, getting the old duo back together. Not exactly been the best smooth operation, though, for the new team principal this season and for the driver Aiden Jackson, but I think maybe things might get a bit smoother once they actually sign that new driver. But we got a lot of reactions to some of the answers we gave in the interviews on social media, but I think it's just time to get into that conversation that Casper Ackerman and Callie Mayer are going to have about this situation. Davidoff's on the email going, remaining against my better judgment, you and Andreo seem to convince me this is the right direction. Let me know the second you've spoken to her. So he wants instant updates, and Andreo said it's not easy about the situation recently, but he's thanking us for the professionalism and incredibly grateful for the Noah Bell's efforts as a reserve. Obviously, probably also the fact that Aiden won helps a lot as well, and Davidoff's been in touch about asking about Callie saying the right choice. Next minute he's asking it to risks, 1 minute he's saying yes, so we just need to get this done, so let's get it done.
Why are you hesitating? You've always dreamt of racing in F1.
Not like this. Do you know what he did?
Oh, your father?
He refused to support me. Said he'd only fund one of his children. Said Devon had better prospects.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Mum used the divorce settlement to help me out, but... And you're only here because he sent you.
No. This was my idea, my decision. And this is me asking you, Callie, not your father. We need a replacement and I ask for you because I know how good you are. And that's the truth.
I always said I'd do it on my terms, not his.
I'll look out for you. Just like I did in F2.
Will you keep him away from me?
I'll do everything in my power. Everything. To make sure that all you have to think about is driving. Have we got a deal? You might never get this opportunity again. You know that.
The dynamics in the team are shifting, and it's going to be a little bit awkward here and there, maybe, as we go to Chapter 11 then, several weeks later at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, with the current F2 champion, Callie now on board. Casper and the team at Connor Sport hope the stability on the roster will help them garner the results needed to keep pace in the competitive midfield of the F1 grid. And at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, we've got some team principal duties straight away as well. Investment opportunity. Great news, one of the sponsors unexpectedly paid out early for their bonus. There's a number of ways we can use the money in question. How should we invest it? I'm going to go with... I would go with the factory. If this was my team career mode, I would invest this in the factory. New factory stuff. Also, I feel would be motivating for the team, knowing that there's actually going to be some updated equipment, etc., etc. If you do it just the team, that's nice for them, but then the car's not moving forward, the factory's not moving forward. If you do the car, that doesn't really maybe boost morale long-term, because it's just a short-term gain. So I'm going to go with the factory on that one. And now we've got a call coming in from... Oh, God, Davidoff. What the hell does he want?
Davidoff.
They stopped me entering the garage just because Callie's in there. It's ridiculous.
We've had this conversation. You need to give her space.
I'll humour you for now, Ackerman, but I don't like being told where I can and can't go around here. Don't forget, you talked me into this.
What does that mean? Talked you into what?
Signing Callie in the first place. I'm just allowing you to take credit for it, that's all.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to blame me.
Well, if you're right about it, there'll be no blame to allocate, will there?
Anything else?
You're a busy man. I'll let you go.
So that new life with Callie's our drivers starting off really strong, really strong. Feeling the love in this team, really. Davidoff obviously quite peeved off about being told where he can't and can go, but it's necessary to protect our new driver, Callie Mayer, and to make sure she feels comfortable in the surroundings with her father on board and not wanting to cross over those tetchy, very clearly raw, still feelings and whatever awkwardness is there. So, yeah, very difficult stuff to manage, but I'm sure Casper and ourselves, we will try our best. But apparently in this virtual world, I find this all rather funny. I'd watch out Aiden Jackson. He's going to be soon replaced with the Butler's housekeeper. Hashtag nepotism, hashtag Butler family. That was a great roast, virtual aarava. Great roast. But now we go to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With the world watching, Callie looks to make history as she approaches her first start behind the wheel of a Formula One car.
History is made here today as Callie Mayer, Connor Sport's latest signing, becomes the first female driver of the modern era to participate in an F1 race.
What a moment! I've got goosebumps. Now, for those of you wondering at home, only a handful of women have entered at least one Grand Prix over the years, but none have even had the opportunity to qualify since 1992. Italy's Giovanna Amati, for those of you wondering. So today is very much a new dawn here in Baku.
And Mayer was impressive in qualifying, so let's see what the Grand Prix has in store for her.
Yeah, I have to say, it is quite a tight-knit pack out there. Fierce competition all round. I really wouldn't want to call this one.
Indeed. We've seen some brilliant driving here today, especially from young Callie Mayer. She seems to have made the transition to F1 as if she was born for it.
Okay, Callie, really good start. Keep it up.
I'm not finished yet.
Callie sounding determined as ever as she was in that F2 championship we drove with her, and now we're here in Formula 1 for her debut race. It's going all right so far. P16 Jackson just up the road in P12, so definitely within the realms of us catching him and looking to make the overtake. That's our objective, actually, to catch up to Aiden Jackson before lap 8, and the bonus is to finish in the top 8, so 4 more positions than where Jackson is. We make quick work of De Vries, and we're now on the back of Lando Norris, and I can see on the minimap Jackson just down the road. So we get through these cars and we'll be on Jackson in no time as we get Norris just before we go through the shimmy and shake to the slingshot on the main straight, and looking for DRS here now on Sonoda, and we will get it, and we're deploying ERS all the way down this straight as we reel in Sonoda, and we're going to go for a big send on the inside there. Still clearly reeling from the big sends we did in the Spanish Grand Prix there. And now we've caught up to Aiden Jackson, but things may not be as simple as they seem.
Here comes Callie Mayer closing in on her teammate.
She's practically on top of me. Aiden, calm down. You're on different strategies. Just let Callie pass. Okay, Callie. Aiden's going to let you pass at the next corner. Let's go. Copy.
Will Mayer get past her teammate now? Here she comes. But there's contact between the two Connor Sport drivers. Jackson's out, he gets the worst of it, Mayer's clear.
Oh, Jackson's damage looks bad. I think you're right, Crofty, his race is over.
Mayer seemed to catch Jackson unawares though. I'm not sure why.
What was that? Why didn't she wait for me to move over on the exit? Okay, Aiden, are you alright? It's just another Butler.
I thought he was letting me through.
Yeah, I know, Callie. I'm sorry about that, but it's happened now. It's over. Let's get your head down and focus. Come on, let's talk about it later.
Copy.
Aiden Jackson and Butlers. Name a better duo. It could be either Devon Butler or Callie Butler, now known as Callie Mayer. This man cannot stop crashing or having incidents with anyone from that family, it would seem. I don't know whose fault that quite was. It seemed like Callie moved across a bit, but then also Aiden just turned in, or was continuing to turn in like she wasn't even there. So, yeah, very odd situation, and a bit of a techie one, really, in Callie's first race, but we're going to have to make up the places and make up for it as we make quick work of George Russell now, as we still have the objective of trying to finish in the top 8 is the bonus. Now that makes a bit more sense of why that was a bonus objective from the get-go, but the main objective is just P10, but we can definitely do better than P10 as we're already there as we look to overtake Sergio Perez, who's going very slow on the mediums, and Lance Stroll on the softs, maybe a harder man to catch a little bit, but we've got the laps. We're lap 9 of 13, so only four whole laps. I say only 4 laps. 4 laps is quite a long time, I feel, in breaking point 2, as there's plenty of pace with the car versus the AI that we race here in this game mode. So we're now up behind Lance Stroll for that bonus P8, and we're going to go through and sling through on the inside, just taking a lot of curve to make sure we get the overtake done and can squeeze him out on the exit. And now we chase after and set our sights on just more and more positions, basically. How high can we go in this race? Of course, we're already in the points, which is pretty historic for Callie Mayer as a woman starting her first Formula 1 race, but can we even get towards maybe even a top 5? That would be insane as we catch up to the 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. He's on hard tyres though, we're on the mediums, and like we saw in the My Team career mode episode at Monaco, the different compounds on this year's game make a huge difference. Add in also the difficulty of the hard difficulty on breaking point 2 not being insanely hard. We're going to get past Hamilton with ease up into P6, and then we can chase after Fernando Alonso to try and get a top 5. Maybe even a top 4 could be possible. Piastri is in P4. How the hell has he done that in the McLaren? P4 for the McLaren around Baku. They would be loving life if that was the case in real life, for sure. So I think even a top 4 could be possible, which would be bloody historic for sure for Callie Mayer here. Getting close to Alonso now. Might be tempted by a little dive on the next left-hander, but to be fair, might be better just to wait and get DRS, because then that will shoot us over towards where Piastri is, and he's just up the road actually, 3.3, as we're going to go for the move on Fernando. It's going to be a bit fine on the right-hand side. Alonso gives us the room, and we pass Alonso, and I think we should get DRS, right? Because the detection point was... No, okay, looks like I was wrong. Maybe we overtook him just before the detection point, because Alonso comes back at us and re-overtakes us. Rarity in the Breaking Point story mode for an AI to re-overtake us and give us a good battle, but Alonso does give us that battle as we squeeze him out with the elbows out, and eventually later on lap 12, that's when we'll catch up to Oscar Piastri and look to size up the move just after the castle section, maybe before we get to that left-hander, just before after these long kinks, as we're going to get a good exit and be able to send it through. We've got enough ERS to accelerate past Piastri, who is slow as ever on that exit. So just begs the question how on earth he even got up to P4 in the McLaren that's performing so slow out of those slower corners. Leclerc will win here in Baku. Verstappen second. We can't quite get a podium. That's 4.9 seconds down the road. But it's going to be a pretty damn historic P4. Big points for Callie Mayer in her first race in Formula 1.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, in spite of the drama amongst those at the top of the standings, so much of the discussion today is centred around Connor Sport.
Absolutely, a bittersweet race for them today. One historic debut, one DNF. I mean, you couldn't write it.
And talking of that debut, what did you make of Callie Mayer's first ever start?
Well, I am so excited to see Callie racing in F1. It is great for the sport. She is a phenomenal talent. I can't wait to see what the season holds and her career as a whole.
And if today is anything to go by, the name Callie Mayer is one that we'll be watching with a lot of interest for many years to come.
And do you feel extra pressure at Connor Sport? It must be difficult with your dad looking over your shoulder.
Look, it's F1. It's not possible for me to feel any more pressure than I already do. So no, it's not an issue.
Callie, have you felt any pushback from anyone in the F1 world, just with you being the first female driver in the sport?
No, everyone's been amazing. And I'm not the first, I'm just the latest.
How's your brother? Are you really just keeping his seat warm?
You'd have to ask him that. But he is getting the help that he needs. And no, I have no intention of giving up this seat.
What happened out there between you and Aiden today?
It's just a mix-up. I thought he was letting me through on the entry, but he clearly had other ideas.
We spoke to him earlier, and he said it was deliberate on your part. Any comment on that?
It was just a misunderstanding.
You've always gone by Mayer, and now you're in a team financed by your father, driving in your brother's seat. Would you go back to the Butler name?
Should have expected it, right?
I thought you did.
It's not what I mean. I'm a woman, I get it. I'm happy to talk about it.
Then what is it?
Well, it's always the same, isn't it? So you're a woman, and then every question about Dad, about Devon, about the Butler name.
Just forget about it.
Oh, I can never get away from it, can I? The only question about the race was about Aiden.
Well, maybe if we'd let it run a little longer, there would have been...
Casper, don't defend them.
Sorry, you're right. Sorry.
Look, it's fine. I'll be faster next time.
The incident at Baku, do you think she did it on purpose?
She did do it on purpose. Yeah. Check the footage.
So you didn't warm to her?
We weren't the best of friends, no.
Not the best first race as teammates, you gotta say, but did we ever really think it was going to go smoothly? And we still haven't even got to the part where maybe Callie and Devon butt heads eventually if he returns around in the paddock, but that's a question for another day, really. But we've got an incoming call, I think, from her mum.
Hey, Mum.
Callie, I couldn't be prouder, darling. Well done.
Oh, thanks, Mum. It was a good race. Felt great out there.
Oh, it was a good race.
Oh, no, what is it?
What do you mean, what is it? What's what?
I can hear it in your voice, Mum. It was a good race.
No, it's nothing.
Go on.
No, it's just that... You didn't do it on purpose, did you? When you clipped poor Aiden.
I can't believe you're even asking me. Did you really raise your daughter to behave like that?
Well, I'm really not sure.
It was an accident, Mum. I'm hanging up.
Oh, of course it was. Bye. Bye, darling. Lots of love.
Yeesh. Mother, what was that? That is not what you do. That was awkward. That was not that. I thought of all people, her mum would be like, nah, yeah, he turned in on you. But clearly, clearly supporting your kids is not really a thing they do in this family. Either a butler or not a butler, basically, it would seem. But, yeah, we've definitely made some headlines. And obviously, Callie's getting massively questioned by the press after her first race. Interview requests flying in. And her mum asking for lunch. I think this was probably before the phone call, I'm going to say. And then we're getting our measurements for the new seat fitting to feel as comfortable as possible, because this is the new pecking order. This is it. This is the new lineup for Connor Sport now for the remainder of the season, it would seem. It's Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson. It hasn't started off so well, but I think they're going to have to work together well if they want to try and survive in this sport with this team. Because remember, that top 5, I think it was what Davidoff was saying. They don't get that top 5, and it's bye-bye Connor Sport from Formula 1. So we'll have to see how the next journey goes for the rest of this season. But guys, if you have enjoyed this one, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.